Assalamualaikum. Welcome to our programming class, web programming using PHP, and the database is MySQL. So in this class, what we are going to explore is this three-tier application, which comprise of the first tier, which is the client or the browser, whereas this is the interface. Okay, the interface. So when you are developing an application, or might be this is a web application, so the most basic compartment of your infrastructure is this three tier, or we call it three layer facilities, whereby you have the first layer as the interface. Okay, the second layer whereby you have the PHP script and the middleware, and the third layer is where you dump your data. This is called the database layer. So inside the first layer you have the interface. So it's like having your login page. You have you ask your user to key in the username and password and send the information to the web server. Okay, the web server, and the web server will check the content of your username and password to the database. So if the username and password are match, then we can say that that particular user login is authenticate. So after you authenticate a user, then you pass the web application to display a different layer. A different interface. So normally the interface we're using the what we call the browser. Okay, so most likely we will be using the browser as the interface for the user to interact with the system. So for example, you have this interface whereby the user need to provide username and password, and the login will be authenticated when the username and password sent to the server, and the server or the PHP script or the middleware whereby we are going to use PHP will be checking for the authentication by matching the username and password provided by the user with the username and password as stored inside the database. So for instance, we have this interface, and then we provide the username and obviously the password, and then we click the login button. Then you see, as the username and the password authenticated, so this is how the system verify that you are a authenticated user. So whereas if, let's say, you provide something like this, the correct username, somehow the password is not the one that been stored for this user. So let's say we have this username, and then we provide somehow or other unintentionally you provide the wrong password, or the person who are trying to access your system don't know the password, the actual password, so they're trying to brute force or something like that. So you can see the password is incorrect. So long as the username and password doesn't match as stored inside the database, you cannot, that particular person cannot enter the system. So the interface is the HTML base. By using the browser, we can display the HTML interface. So you have this username and password when you log in. Okay, meaning that your system has verified that your username and password is similar to the one which is stored inside the database. So somehow or other, that is a logic behind then logic is processed using the PHP or the middleware, where in this case we are using the PHP, the middleware, as the logic, the business process controller. So that one is managed by the script or the PHP script, which resides inside the middleware. Okay, the middle tier. So okay, so something like this. So you can see that this particular system recognizes that the username full name is this. Why? How? This is done by reading from the database. Then it will display the content from the database. So no problem. Okay, the system knows your full name. Although in the first place you only provide your username, but since the username, the password, the full name is stored inside the database, then the system could easily provide the content inside the HTML interface. Okay, so that is how online system works. Okay, so that is how online system work or web application works. And normally the first layer, this is the first layer. The first layer is the client and the browser. Okay, the HTML interface. The second layer is the middleware, whereby you have the web server and the PHP, and then the last layer is the database. Okay, so first thing, we need to discuss what is HTML. Since HTML is used inside the first layer, whereby you have the interface. Okay, this is the layer 2, the second layer, the second tier. So hold the logic or business process, the server-side scripting. This is what providing the dynamic HTML, the dynamic web, the dynamic web page. So the last layer, which is the third layer, is the database part, whereby most likely we'll be using MySQL, okay, with the standard or structured query language. So the structured query language will work as the what we call as the command to extract the content or from the database, or to store your content to the database. Then we have here, okay, so by right inside the server you have these three applications. So the server need to provide this web server and PHP, and also the database server. And the first tier is your client, meaning that this is the part whereby used by the user. So this tier, which is the second, and the third one is actually will be stored or will be operating inside the server. So the first thing that you need is the first part, how we could develop the interface such as this interface to provide the user the things that we can see, the interaction between the system and the human, the user. Okay, so all this software or all this application, the web server, the PHP interpreter, the database server, is actually available by installing Laragon. So if you have a PC or a laptop that you would like to develop this middle layer, or what we call as web server, or the PHP script, or the middleware, so you need to install the development stack. One of the development stack is Laragon. So in this class, we will be using Laragon. Okay, there are other options such as XAMPP or WAM or something like that, or you can even install it one by one, meaning that you can install your web server, and then you install your PHP interpreter, and then you install MySQL database server one by one separately. That one is also possible. But if you would like to make your life easier, much more easier, then you download laragon.org and then install them. So basically, you go to laragon.org, go to /download, laragon.org/download, laragon.org/download. Then you choose the option which has the Laragon full, which almost 130 megabyte, 130 meg. So install this full version. It will be much easier lah. Okay, install this full version, Laragon full 130 meg. So basically, when you install the Laragon, you will see this interface. Okay, you will see this interface whereby you stop and start, or you can start the server here. Basically, the first thing that you need is to start your Apache server ataupun or the web server. Okay, the web server. Okay, so by right, when you install, so this is where we need to download the Laragon. So the first thing is the Laragon. So go to laragon.org/download and choose this one, which has the full version. Okay, so I'm assuming that you are using Windows. Okay, I'm assuming that you are using Windows. Okay, if you are using MacBook or Linux machine, then you need to Google to you need to download different options. So this is the option you need to install for Windows, and I'm suggesting Windows 10. This one. Okay, download this edition. And the other thing that you need to download is your Sublime, or we call it the code editor. So Sublime, the code editor. So Sublime is available from sublimetext.com. Okay, you can download from sublimetext.com. So make sure you have this also. So you have Laragon installed, and then you install Sublime Text also. Sublime Text is to edit your code. Laragon and Sublime Text. So download these two software. Laragon, providing the development stack, so that you can have your own web server installed inside your PC. And the second software that you must install is Sublime Text, whereby you will be using Sublime Text to edit your code. Okay, then when you have your Laragon installed, just search from the start. Okay, Laragon. So start your Laragon. Open. Then you see this option as similar to the one inside the slide lah. Then click start all. So when you click start all, When you finish using this Laragon, you may stop this one using this button. If you need to run your PHP code or have your web server running, click this option, start all. Then you will have your Apache web server running. So inside the Apache web server, you have also been provided with a PHP interpreter. So then you may proceed to the compiling or developing PHP script or the web application. So there are a lot of choices outside over there in developing web application. Okay, you may have your web application developed with .NET technology, or you may have your web application developed with Java technology. Okay, and that's you have Ruby on Rails. Another option is Ruby on Rails. So these are some of the choices that you may choose, but somehow or other Java is a slightly different language than PHP, and also slightly different language than .NET or Ruby on Rails or Active Perl or something like that. So that's choices, but in this class, in this tutorial, I would just focusing on PHP, MySQL, and HTML. So this is whereby you have your web server turned on, and then when you have your server turned on, surely you want to know, let's say you would like to write a HTML script or PHP script. Where are these files being stored inside your local PC? So you may go to this option button, root. This will locate the place whereby we store all the PHP or HTML file for your web application. So these are the what we call as the web root. This is the web root. Okay, so we have here a lot of existing database or web application previously developed by me, so no problem. It will point to Windows Laragon www. Windows Laragon www. I repeat, you may locate your PHP script or HTML script inside this inside this button, this location. It will locate the place, the folder whereby you store your HTML and PHP. Okay, these are the projects. Okay, the projects. You may create a new folder inside the www Laragon www. Okay, so it will be your project folder. Create new and go to folder. So let's say this is our subject, TBTM 2053. So whatever PHP or HTML script that you will be developing will be stored inside this folder. Okay, you have a TBTM 2053. So this is your folder. This will hold all your PHP and HTML file inside. So it's very easy. You can click this root button. Then to locate the web root, we call it the web root. The web root. Root means the location, the folder location. The folder location. So that is the first part of our tutorial, our lab session. The second part is the HTML. Okay, the HTML. Okay, HTML referring to the modern day of. Okay, HTML is referring to the modern day of HTML, which promotes native handling of video, audio, animation, and whatever additional plugin lah. Okay, so basically, previously we have HTML4. So currently we have HTML5. Soon we will be having HTML6. And when you have your HTML interface, most likely you need to have your Bootstrap framework. So this Bootstrap framework will provide the what we call as responsive layout on web design to make it to make your HTML page even more beautiful lah. Okay, more neat and more suitable, obviously for smartphone view, for smartphone display, because we are in the modern web, whereby you have your phone. Okay, mostly the user will use his or her phone to view the website, or to view the web application, to use your web application. So basically it will start with doc type HTML, and you can try this structure, or we call it this is the typical structure of HTML, whereby you have the header, okay, the body. The header is whereby you provide metadata for the page, and the body is where you have your interface that you will be providing to your user. This is where your user will view your web application. Okay, so we go to this link. Okay, then we try to have this test. HTML. So this is the portal whereby you learn HTML. You will see a lot of options or examples. Then you can straight away use this interface to test your HTML. So let's say this is a typical example of HTML page, and if you like to try something out, click here. Okay, so you'll see here, this is the header part. Okay, this is the header part. Make it bigger for you. So this is the HTML typical structure of HTML. So this is the header. No, sorry, this is the body, the things that will be displayed inside your browser. So this is the title, page title, or we call it the metadata. Then let's say you would like to change to welcome to PHP HTML. Click run. Then you'll see, no, you cannot see because this is inside the metadata. So this is heading. So let's say we put it inside the H1. H1 is basically providing a bigger font. Okay, let's say that, okay, welcome to HTML. This is paragraph. Okay, I love HTML. I love HTML. So this is paragraph will be changed to I love HTML. See. Okay, so that is typical HTML code. Then you may select this all and copy Okay, copy, and you bring to your Sublime Text. This is your Sublime Text. And then you can open your browser, your folder inside the web root, inside the Laragon www, open folder, magnify for you, sorry, file, open folder, then you choose your C, because your Laragon folder is inside C by right, or D, okay, depends on where you install them. You have this Laragon, then you have the folder www. So this is inside the C Laragon www. So our folder is inside the TBTM. Okay, then you choose TBTM 2053, select folder, and by right this is your folder. So you paste the HTML, right click, paste. This is the HTML copied from HTML W3 School. This is copied from here. Select all, Control A, then copy, then you provide to your Sublime. Then you save it. Save the file, this file as why? Okay, TBTM 2053. Change the name as test1.html. So make sure you use the .html. So type the .html, test1.html. Save. Okay. So how to test your file? How to test your HTML file inside the browser? You need to test them inside the browser. Okay, you go to your Laragon, and then you see this web. Okay, and this is your local host. We call it local host. So once you click this web button, and then you will be provided with a list of files inside the www folder. Then you will see your folder here, TBTM. Click your folder TBTM 2053, and this is your file, test. So this is your file. This is your file. So when you press this test1.html, we will be providing the display of the code, HTML code you write inside the what is this called? The Sublime. So this is a Sublime. This is a Sublime. This is the view inside your folder. Inside your browser. So from there you can adjust your content inside the body. So welcome to HTML. Welcome to TBTM 2053. Then make sure to save. You can Control S. You can press Control S. You will save, or you can go to File and click Save. Okay, welcome to HTML. So what's next? So that is how you write your HTML page. So this is the sample. If you need to display image in HTML5, okay, so you need to have a picture, then you need to have a picture, something like this. So you need to have a picture. Okay, we need a picture, an image. So whatever image lah. So let's say you have some image, quiz logo. So how you may click this image and let's finish downloading. Something like this. Then you may right click and save image as. So make sure to store your image inside the folder C, Laragon, www, again C, Laragon, www, tbtm. So put it inside your folder. So provide the name, quiz logo .png, change, save. Okay, so when you want to embed an image inside the HTML body, you need to write this command, img, provide the source of your file, img src sama dengan tadi logo, so sorry, quiz logo .png. So basically the picture, the quiz logo picture is inside your folder, the same folder as the HTML. You can click here and then you can see this is the image. Okay, straightforward. Then go to save. Make sure to save first before what? Before you refresh this HTML inside the browser. So you may see your welcome to HTML, I love HTML, and the image embedded inside the code. Yeah. So this is the output. Something like this. And you have your picture inside your first HTML. So that's it. That is the first tutorial. Basically, we'll be exploring more on HTML, especially using the W3 schools. Okay, W3 schools. So whatever will be referring to the code inside the W3 schools.com. And basically you can make use of this as a link in HTML. So you need to provide HTTP. So that is a hyperlink. So you need to refresh. You need to refresh inside the browser. Control R. Right click, reload. So here you got your picture and your hyperlink, w3schools.com. So the thing with hyperlink is when you press on the text with this hyperlink capability, you will go to the address provided inside the hash wrap. So that is the link, and will display the page that you point. This is the page. This is the place where you go when you press this link. So alhamdulillah, so we stop there. So next tutorial will be exploring more on HTML and the what we call as bootstrap. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi